a whole toolbox added to the processing tools with all kinds of point cloud conversion tools, point cloud data management tools, with building virtual point clouds. That's a new thing where you can easily stitch together the last tiles and work virtually as if it is one, like a virtual raster. And that's very useful if you have intermediate results that you don't want to save to a copy of the file. Yeah, all kinds of tools that we can use there. And when they implemented this, they implemented also pedal wrench, which is an easier way to work with pedal, the point cloud data abstraction library that is used behind the scenes to do all the data crunching. And with pedal wrench, which works very similar to GDAL, it's very easy for users to script their pipelines and to automate point cloud processing. So here you can see an animation of how point clouds can be used. So we can do 2D styling, but we can also do 3D styling. You can follow the 2D styles, or you can choose a separate 3D style. Then you can go to the 3D map view. And here the loaded point cloud is immediately interpreted as elevation data. And you can tilt then the scene and have your 3D visualization of, in this case, Rotterdam. And there are more things that you can do. So you can dock it in different places. You can change the styles. You can change the point densities. And you can also use a single color, which is not really fancy. And we can also use an attribute because point cloud data comes with attributes. And here you see the attributes included here. So we can give a color ramp for the height. But here is one that shows the number of returns. These laser pulses come back in different at different timings. And if you reach a tree, for example, you have multiple returns, so you can easily filter out trees. And that's also what you see here by looking at the near infrared. So all the vegetation now pops out in red because vegetation has a high reflection in the near infrared. And there's also classification attributes that show you which class a point belongs to. And in recent versions of QGIS, you can modify the classification and you can do edits on the point itself. Here you have some functionality to change the size of the points in the 3D view, which might improve your visualization. And you can change a bit for the performance. The point cloud budget, how many points it needs to render. And a really nice function here is render as a surface. Then it on the fly interpolates the points, and you can have some checks and balances there by skipping long triangles. It's all very cool stuff that you can do with QGIS and point clouds. And what you can also do is filter with expressions. And that means that you can use these attributes with an expression to filter out maybe the return numbers and the classification to get out the vegetation, as you see here in the result. A really nice thing is that you can not only use point clouds in the 3D view, but also in the elevation profile tool. And so here's again the point cloud of Rotterdam. And I can there, as you have learned also in this course, capture a curve. So I make a transect. And then when I click right, you can see the skyline of Rotterdam nicely rendered with the colored point clouds. And I use here a tolerance of 50, so it uses the points within a bandwidth, so you can get really nice results visually of your skyline. But this also, of course, works for natural environments, for river cross sections or trees. So this was a little teaser for our upcoming 3D point cloud processing in QGIS course that you can sign up for now. I will give that starting at the end of July, and I hope to see you also there.